Published, 1729, the 8th of April 2019. Manchester United have been given the task of climbing Mount Everest in the Champions League quarter-finals after drawing Barcelona. The Red Devils pulled off an incredible comeback against Paris Saint-Germain in the previous round to get here and cannot be underestimated, especially given their turnaround since putting Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the wheel. However, in Barcelona, they're facing an entirely different species to the one they dumped out in the round of 16, as the Blaugrana are packed with Champions League experts, world-class ball players and, well, that little guy who is the footballing equivalent of Master Yoda. So, with this mouth-watering repeat of the 2009 and 2011 Champions League finals on the horizon, we've taken a look at 4 Barcelona strengths that United must guard against if they hope to compete, as well as 4 weaknesses they can exploit to progress. Strength, width and space. Take a quick glance at Barcelona's attacking patterns and one thing becomes predominantly clear: their fullbacks push absurdly high. We'll get to the drawback to that in a moment. First, we need to take a look at what that does to their opponents. When playing against less talented or ambitious sides, the likes of Jordi Alba, Nelson Semedo and Sergi Roberto buccaneering forward serves to pin opposition fullbacks, denying them the chance to break and support the attack, effectively stifling any chance of hitting Barca with counterattacks. Photo by Aider Alcalde, Getty Images. Not only that, but the width they generate also pulls players out of position and creates chasms of space to allow Ousmane Dembélé the chance to drive in between the fullback and centre-back, using his electric pace to terrify the slower players hidden in the middle. When Dembélé plays, Barca will seek to create this space for him, and Messi aside, he is arguably their greatest weapon. Dogged defending and strict positional discipline are absolutely paramount when defending against a Dembélé-armed Barca. Weakness, counter-attack. However, Man Utd are not one of those aforementioned, less ambitious teams. As we've seen during Solskjaer's reign, the likes of Marcus Rashford, Jesse Lingard, Anthony Martial and Paul Pogba are absolutely devastating on the break. Pogba can initiate a counterattack by carrying the ball from box to box quicker than Lewis Hamilton on a home straight, while Lingard's expert movement allows him to arrive late in the box and simply tap home a cutback. However, the key against Barca could be Rashford and Martial. They are United's true sprinters, possessing devastating pace to get in behind exposed highlines and dead-eye finishing should they get one-on-one. Leopards don't change their spots and Barca will not change their philosophy. Their fullbacks will continue to push aggressively high as they always do, firm in their belief they can dominate any side on the planet. However, one quick transition through Pogba, or one clearance into the space the fullbacks have vacated and the Blaugrana could have a serious problem on their hands. Strength, depth by passing. What's that? Barcelona like to pass the ball. Yes, we're all well aware of Barca's undisputed possession dominance, but honestly, it is one of their greatest strengths. You cannot score without the ball and you can get incredibly tired chasing it around. The Spanish champions have played the second highest number of passes, 4,786, and averaged the second highest share of possession, 62.59%, in this season's Champions League, with the latter only being exceeded by none other than Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. And shock, both of those sides rank among the top 4 for goals scored in this season's competition, with Barca on 19 and City on 26. Both are experts in patiently shifting possession from side to side in search of weaknesses and gaps to exploit. You can deploy the lowest of blocks, you can be the most disciplined defense on planet Earth, but if you spend 65 to 70% of the game without the ball, you will tire. Just as a boa constrictor will kill its prey slowly, Barca will suffocate you with possession, and as we saw with Lyon's late collapse at the Nou Camp, that is where they'll devastate you. Weakness, crosses into the box. Of the 177 aerial duels they have faced in this season's Champions League, Barcelona have lost 92, 51.98% of them, while a look at Lucas Toussaint's goal against them for Lyon highlights a distinct weakness when defending crosses into the box. None of Barca's fullbacks are particularly strong in the air, while Sergi Roberto has often been seen as a defensive liability for the Catalonians. A short corner, just like the one for Toussaint's goal, can easily disrupt Barca's set-piece defending and present aerially dominant players such as Romelu Lukaku and Chris Smalling with the chance to use their height and bully smaller defenders once the cross is made. Photo by Maha Hadid. Getty Images. Furthermore, it isn't just deep crosses in the air that Barcelona struggle with. During their ding-dong clash with Sevilla in February, which they eventually won 4-2, the intense attacking nature of Barca's fullbacks came back to bite them once again. Sevilla's second goal, scored by Gabriel Mercado, came as a direct result of the Andalusians counter-attacking into the wide spaces. However, once the ball was worked into the box and the low cross was made, the slow rate of reaction from the Barcelona defense was remarkable and highlights another area where the likes of Rashford and Lingard can profit. Honestly, compare this goal with the one scored by Lingard during United's 3-1 FA Cup win at Arsenal earlier this season. The similarities are striking. Strength, Champions League experience. That being said, regardless of any weakness to balls into the box, Barcelona are European experts. Messi, Alba, Gerard Piqué, Sergio Busquets, Ivan Rakitic and co. Ernesto Valverde has a bunch of players at his disposal that have gone deep in the Champions League, year after year. In fact, the aforementioned 5 players alone have a combined 12 Champions League winners' medals between them. Man United squad, on the other hand, is packed with players just coming to prominence, having played during the Red Devils' toughest period of the Premier League era. The likes of Rashford, Lingard and Pogba may have won the Europa League, but that really doesn't come close to matching the heat of a no-camp clash with Barcelona, especially when the chips are down. Even if United were to race into a first leg lead, Barca's veterans are unlikely to wilt under the pressure. We all remember the 6-1 against PSG, right? Weakness, lack of pace. Dembélé may be terrifyingly fast, but take him and Malcolm, who has been unfairly marginalized, out of the Barcelona attack and they pretty much lose the ability to go in behind, especially with Luis Suarez advancing into his 30s and slowing down at an alarming rate. Frenchman is their only truly lighting player going forward, with Malcolm and Alba the only other players in the squad with a real sprint in their locker. Dembélé hasn't played since the 5-1 thrashing of Lyon following a muscle injury, making him touch and go for the first leg at Old Trafford. Should the 21-year-old miss out, Barca will be presented with the prospect of playing most of their football in front of United, who will undoubtedly line up with an extremely narrow, low block. Messi might be a footballing god, but this compressed space will unquestionably dampen his ability to influence the game, while the sharp decline in form of Philippe Coutinho robs Barcelona of another player who can pick defensive locks in the tightest of areas. Strength, they have a Messi who can compress the space, man-mark him, or even put him in a spaceship and blast him into orbit, but there is still often very little you can do to stop the relentless genius that is Lionel Messi. Even if Dembélé is missing and Barcelona cannot stretch United with his pace, the Argentine ace can operate in physics-defining parameters and is often mere seconds away from that match-defining moment. See his mockery of the art of free-kick taking in recent weeks. Messi, 117, is second only to Sofiane Boufal, 119, for successful dribbles in La Liga this season, while the 31-year-old is level with Robert Lewandowski as this season's Champions League top scorer with 8 goals. Do yourselves a favor and watch the third and fourth goals of Barca's 5-1 win over Lyon to see the mind-bending, paradigm-shifting capabilities Messi possesses with the ball at his feet. He'll sit you down, let you get back up, then put you on your back again before he scores. Messi is like that awesome tank cheat code in GTA, dropping from the sky and making pretty much anything within his vicinity explode or, in this case, turn into goals. Regardless of whether he has an opposition SWAT team on his back. The only criticism of the 5-time Ballon d'Or winner is that he has scored that many improbable goals. He's now made his highlights reel look completely normal. Weakness, over-reliance on Messi and Suarez. Oh, we've established that Messi is a god. We know that, on his day, Suarez is still capable of incredible moments and continues to score goals at a remarkable rate. However, while that provides great strength for Barca, it is also one of their most fundamental flaws. If United are somehow able to silence Messi, what happens then? If Victor Lindelof manages to snuff out Suarez, where do Barca turn? What if they get injured? Messi and Suarez have 33 and 20 goals, respectively, this season, including 10 of Barca's last 12, while the next closest Blaugrana player is Dembélé, who has just 8. But despite Messi's obvious greatness, the Argentinian has struggled in Champions League quarter-finals, not scoring in his past 11 games at this stage. Messi's last goal in the Champions League quarter-final came in Barcelona's 2-2 draw with PSG in 2013, with the Blaugrana being knocked out by Bayern Munich in the semi-finals. There's every chance that Messi and Suarez will simply run riot and steamroll the Red Devils, but should one or both of them succumb to injury or an off night, United will have a much easier task on their hands, and would even fancy their chances of making that distant dream a reality.